All right, so today's lesson is 7.2, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. Three things. Item number one, fractions are our friends. I'm going to go through a quick review right now on how to multiply and divide fractions. You're going to be fine. Item number two, you need to know how to factor out things, meaning you need to know how to cancel from the top and the bottom. You need to know how to cancel, you need to know when to cancel, just when you're multiplying and dividing, not when you're adding and subtracting. I'll get to that later. Item number three, stuff is about to get really real when it comes to factoring, okay? If you don't have factoring solidified in your brain right now, you need to, okay? So come to me and you can ask me for extra factoring worksheets, or you can just type in Google, which is what I would do anyway, factoring worksheets with answer key. That's it. You're going to have about 50 bazillion factoring worksheets that you guys can do. First things first, let's talk about multiplying and dividing fractions and canceling. So let's just start with an easy peasy lemon squeezy one. 12 over 10 times 5 over 4. So when we multiply fractions, we're just going multiplying top by top, bottom by bottom. But in order for us to make this process a lot faster, let's cancel out first. 4 goes into itself once. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 5 goes into itself once. 5 goes into 10 2 times. Notice how I'm canceling always top and bottom. You don't cancel 5 and 12. You don't cancel 5, 12. Like, you can't do numerator, numerator, but you can go numerator to denominator. I could also cancel numerator to denominator here. I could say, 2 goes into 12 6 times, and 2 goes into 10 5 times, and then I would cancel up here. It just has to be numerator and denominator. It doesn't matter which one. So what we're left with here is 3 times 1 on the top, so 3, 2 times 1 on the bottom, which is 2. 3 over 2, I'm fine with. But if we really want to get fancy-dancy, we can say 1 and 1 half. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to an example that deals with dividing. It's an extra little step, but no big. So minus 3 over, negative 3, not minus 3, it's actually negative 3. Negative 3 over 5 divided by 3 over 20. Now, I said 20, but I wrote 2. There you go. So the extra step that's involved here is you need to multiply the first one by the reciprocal of the second one. What's reciprocal? The numerator goes to the denominator goes to the numerator. We just flip it. My dad, who is also a high school math teacher, or was also a high school math teacher, said that he made me actually pinky promise that I would never say flip it when we talked about the reciprocal. So I'm not going to say flip it, but the reciprocal is when we flip it. But we're still multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, great. Negative 3 over 5 times, so multiplying by that reciprocal, 20 over 3. Now let's go in with our fancy-dancy colored markers and cancel away, shall we? 3 and 3 cancel, leaving us with 1 and 1. Not 0, guys, because when we multiply by 0, it's 0! I know that 5 goes into itself once, but 5 goes into 20 how many times? Yeah, buddy, 4 times. Don't forget about this negative sign, okay? So the answer here is going to be negative 4 over 1, which is just negative 4. Done. Walk away from the question. One more example. This one has a little bit more intense factoring. Oh, sorry, not factoring, but canceling. So we have negative 1 over 6 divided by negative 8 over 24. So now what we want to do is, yes, again, we want to multiply by that reciprocal. At this point, negative divided by negative is positive, so that's why I'm dropping that, okay? Negative times negative is positive, so I know that my answer is positive. Let's just get rid of those negatives as soon as we can. We couldn't just drop it here, right? Because there was only one, negative sign. But since there's 2 here, we're just going to drop it right away. So 1 over 6, we want to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? Actually, I just found an easier way to do this. 8 goes into itself once. 8 goes into 24 3 times. So 1 times 3 is 3. 6 times 1 is 2. No, 6 times 1 is not 2. 6 times 1 is 6. But look, we don't quite have it in those terms yet. What needs to happen? 3 goes into itself once. 3 goes into 6 2 times. So we're left with 1/2. If it makes it easier for you to just cancel 1 and then write out the step and then keep on going, that's fine. You can take it in a few steps like that. If something like this with like multiple cancellations going is just like, too much, just like cancel out one thing at a time.